As of now, I am 42.
What do you, as of now? I'm not asking how old you are in a year.
Well, the show started, so you asked too late.
God damn it.
Well, you're not supposed to tell them that because then it ruins the whole thing where I kind of throw in the intro, sort of like cutting in on the... Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, though?
And the Lord of Pineapple, Drunken Uncle.
Yeah, what? No, I resent that, you bastard.
Why?
I'd be smelled like the Lord of wistful melancholy.
No,
Yeah?
it's got to be a P word, and I if we gave you a different name, it's been so long I can't remember what your Lord name is, so I just defaulted to what I figured
Penis.
works. No, sorry, Squishy's got that one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. She got to it first. What can I say? Fuck.
Well, yeah, she did. That's why we have Squeetus.
Hell yeah.
And I am your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. First and foremost, thank you all for all of your well wishes yesterday when I was just absolutely knocked over by a migraine. It was basically I woke up with it, and in sort of a bell curve kind of way, it just gradually got worse and worse and worse up until about 4 o'clock my time. And I was just like, Satsu, I'm sorry, I can't do it. He's like, it's okay, I'm gonna watch a movie with the wife. I'm like, okay.
Well, it was so funny because like 5 minutes before you sent me that message, Squishy was like, hey, you should cancel Lords and we should watch a movie. And I'm like, I would, babe, but it's my night, so sorry. And
Fuck no, bitch.
she did her little pouty face and walked upstairs, and I'm like, oh man. And then 5 minutes later, Scribe's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, babe.
There you go.
Describe like this was part of you, right? You woke up with it. It was your flesh and blood, and then it was with you throughout the day. Wasn't part of you like proud of it, like a father would be for a child, you know? It's been with you all day. It was your migraine. You taught it how to ride a bike. Did you just want to get rid of it? Or you nurtured it? Thank you, Satsu.
If that was the case, I'd be singing the classic Genesis song, You're No Son of Mine. That's an
a bit
old
harsh,
reference.
isn't it?
That is anyway. Thank you, Point Curation. Ho Pit Spin a good week. That's the
old Hope It Spin.
Yeah, Hope It Spin. I love. Isn't that a bar or something? That should be a bar. Hope It Spin.
The Hope It Spin.
The Hope It Spin.
I'm sure I've drank that. Caught many a rash at the Hope It Spin.
And where did the other one go? Sorry, everything's jumping around here. There it is. Tall person. Thank you so much. We'll give something away day. Well, I'm giving my time to Drunkle? I don't know. So have some money, and glad you are feeling better, Scar. Well, thank you, tall person. Appreciate it. Give something away. And lastly, or at least for the moment, Atheist Icon, thanks so much. Why is this Welsh pineapple here? I don't know.
I'm one of the rashes. He got the Hope It Spin. Just
right.
when you think I'm gone, I flare back up again.
Ew. Well, I was about to say pineapple. Drunkle and I commiserated on music a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about him when I was getting the show put together. I was like, I know it's late there, but maybe you'd like to drop in. So
it's early. Actually, it's 2 a.m.
Well,
which is incredibly early for me. Normally, I would be I'd be on Twitch right about now. But I mean, we were just chatting before the show started. It's been a very long day of work for me. Very, very tired. I don't foresee myself being here for the whole show, which is a shame because obviously I have made it 1,000% better already with my talk of rashes.
Yes, rashes and everything else. Kieran reminds that today is Check Your Logic's birthday. Now, I did a very rare thing today in which I sang Happy Birthday on a TED Excellence.
I saw it.
Which doesn't happen very often, if at all. But that's one place, and this is the official place. So, once again, check your logic at your birthday. And around here, I do this. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
What's going on? Holy shit! Are you got another migraine? Are you okay?
He keeps
Should we
helium
call-
on hand.
Should we call someone?
Happy birthday, Check Your Logic.
Positively nightmarish, Scribe.
I know.
Yeah. Are you okay? Is half your face droopy?
I'm
You
not.
all right?
I'm not Sinatra.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, Monkey Dick Jim Jones movies, video games. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and please share our stuff. Share it far, wide, and sideways. And in the same tradition I tried to start on Tuesday, or when I say share our stuff, I'd like to recommend a channel to people that YouTube recommended to me, and I find oddly soothing. You know those weird channels where something bizarre is going on, but it's kind of like calming to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's one out there. It doesn't need any help in the way of subscribers or anything, but it's called The Girl with the Dogs. Now, that might sound like an innuendo or something, but no, it is a professional dog groomer, and she just shows off the dogs and then how she's grooming them and everything. And they're just something sort of soothing. They're very brief videos, like 1 or 2 minutes, and just showing off the different things she has to do for the different puppies and all that. And it's cute / calming. So if you have
as content goes, that's pretty whole,some, isn't it?
Yes, it is about as wholesome as it
dogs.
gets.
Even the Koreans like dogs a little too much, actually.
Oh, good.
Oh, Lordy. Russell Dixon, thanks so much. Drunken Uncle is the lord of the pub. Yeah, there was a picture. I saw a picture of some, like in a game or something where the pub was named Drunken Uncle. Was that something you set up, or is that just a coincidence?
That was Viper Sword playing Infamous, I think. Which, I mean, this game was developed long before I started my channel. But God bless them, they still came to me for permission.
I see,
and I really appreciate that.
I wasn't sure if that was some kind of mod or something somebody put in there, but all right.
God, I wish. Holy shit.
Scribe, in regards to the videos, the other day I was watching this for probably about an hour. These motherfuckers cleaning carpets.
Yes, I've seen those where they like just they goes back and forth with that big scraper thing, and he just pushes all the water out. Yeah,
and you can see the waves and shit of the
nice.
water. Man,
oh yeah, and all the dirty water.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. It's like a Polish channel or something, and the guy all it is just he takes some like antique carpet somebody dropped off to have clean, and it goes from being like all dingy to be practically, gleaming by the time he's done with it, and it's just something very soothing and very hypnotic about watching that stuff.
Can you look
it's
away,
magical.
Man.
It's very satisfying to watch as well.
Let's see. Well, with that, shall we get into the schnoz, gentlemen?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Hold on. No, it's my state of incredulity.
Yes.
All right, respect it. That bit of Sinatra saying "wowie" is that why you got me to record me saying "wowie"?
Well,
wowie, wow.
Okay, so that was Sinatra. That was you.
Like I was in the room.
Now see if you can guess who this is.
Wowie, wow.
No, I don't speak to retards.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Now who's this? Who's this?
Wowie, wow.
Well, that's a difficult. Was that Weibo?
You okay? Very correct. Very good. And I got one more so far. I'm still waiting on some others, but
Wowie, wow.
I don't know who that was, but I kind of want to have sex with it.
that's P-Dog.
Oh,
P-Dog, hit me up, man.
P-Dog Night. Yes. So I have requests into several other people for samples, and hopefully I'll have a good soundboard collection in the near future. But there you go. That's
fucking you get a request like that from Scribe. You don't ask questions. You just record it and send it. I need to start asking, what is this project for?
I've been hesitant. I've been kind of like, I don't know, nervous. I was like, I should ask Undoomed. If I could get Undoomed to do this, that'd be amazing. But I'm like, I don't want to bother the guy. He's like, I'm all starstruck. He's all like a big wig and everything, but who knows? We'll see.
Dude, that'd be funny if he was like, wowie, wow, fucking moron.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, then let's get into a little bit of the schnuzz before Drunkle decides to go collapse. How about we do this one because it's a little bit more universal. Coming from Fox News. Critics slam the White House because they're desperate after Psaki reveals it's consulting with Facebook to, quote, flag misinformation. Did you guys see this today?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is depending on the implication, something else. Critics...
Implication is definitely there, isn't it? Because it's Psaki is the spokesperson, right, for the Biden administration? Press secretary. That's
press
it.
Secretary. Yeah.
The real question here is because obviously she's heavily involved here with the Biden administration. She's not like working for the White House; she's working for the Biden administration. So, basically, that's saying we're deciding what the truth is. We are the arbiters of truth. Yeah, we're working with the corporate world to control the message is what this implies. Critics roundly condemned the White House after Press Secretary Jen Psaki revealed the Biden administration is working with Facebook to flag, quote, problematic, unquote, posts that spread, quote, disinformation on COVID-19. On Thursday, Psaki was asked a question regarding the Biden administration's request for tech companies to be more, quote, aggressive, unquote, when policing what they refer to as, quote, misinformation, unquote. Psaki revealed that the White House is, quote, in regular touch with social media platforms to handle it. Quote, we are in regular touch with the social media platforms, and those engagements typically happen through members of our senior staff and also members of our COVID-19 team. Given, as Dr. Murthy conveyed, this is a big issue of misinformation, specifically on the pandemic, Psaki explained. While referencing the team's actions, Psaki also revealed that they are, quote, flagging, unquote, posts on Facebook as part of their efforts. Quote, within the Surgeon General's office, we're flagging posts for Facebook that spread disinformation, Psaki said. Quote, we're working with doctors and medical professionals to connect medical experts with people who are popular with their audiences with accurate information and boost trusted content. So we're helping get trusted content out there. We also created the COVID Community Core to get factual information into the hands of local messengers, unquote. Trusted content. That's a scary... Trusted, I mean, like fucking 10 years ago, trusted content. You'd be like, oh, okay, all right, trusted content. Now, trusted content, that's a synonym for people who agree with us. Psaki's comments were met with fierce pushback online, with some calling the actions as infringing on the First Amendment. Quote, Psaki says the White House has been flagging problematic posts on Facebook they believe are misinformation about Wuhan coronavirus. Reminder, Fauci worked with Facebook to ban the lab leak theory, which is factual, for more than a year, Fox News contributor Katie Pavlich tweeted. Well, factual, I don't know if anybody's definitively said it is that yet, but they certainly haven't completely countered it yet. So that's...
Yeah, we definitely cannot file that under factual.
Yeah, I mean, well, it may be, well, fact is something that's either true or untrue. So I suppose in that category, it counts. But as far as being the source, hasn't been confirmed, but also hasn't been entirely discounted. Dan Gaynor of Media Research Center said people being anti-vaccine is part of free speech and that Psaki is, quote, against freedom. Independent journalist... The bigger issue here is, personally, what I think. I mean, it's going to be a different spin, but how many people get the entirety of their news from social media? That I couldn't tell you. I hope not many, but this is the world we live in right now, so who knows? It is, yeah, true. Yeah. And I mean, and given the fact that they played up for 3 or 4 years that Russia bought Facebook ads to try to, manipulate the election, and I'm like, Facebook ads did what to the election? I'm still not 100% sure how much power in changing minds Facebook actually possesses, because it seems to be that Facebook is just a collection of independent echo chambers more than it's actually a truth sayer. But maybe that's just me. I haven't been on Facebook in any regularity for a while, but that was always my experience. You're a smart guy. That's why, mate. I mean, fucking I left Facebook after Trump got inaugurated in 2016 because it was just I mean, with my friends list, it was a load of British people complaining about American politics. I was like, do you know what, mate? I'm fucking out. I'm starting a YouTube channel instead where I complain about American politics. That's like right. A classy motherfucker. That's right. All by myself without anybody bothering me. Quote, if you don't find it deeply disturbing that the White House is flagging internet content that they deem problematic to their Facebook allies for removal, then you are definitely an authoritarian. No other information is needed about you to know that. Greenwald wrote.
Well, Scribe, you remember one of the best or most used rebuttals when we were talking about people infringing on free speech is they're like, that's the government doing that? Facebook is a private company. And I'm like, well, now the government is actually doing it and declaring so proudly. So now what? Is that a legitimate excuse now?
Yep.
I mean, that excuse fell through as well when fucking, what was that channel? Right Wing Watch got deleted. And like, it was beautiful to see like everyone going, well, they're their own company. Make your own platform, you know? Oh, they didn't like that.
Let's see. Yeah, so... Anyway, yeah, that is it's kind of a disturbing thing. I mean, it's just this side of what happened with what was it? Twitter taking off any mention of that New York Post story about Hunter Biden back in the day. I mean, as far as we know, that didn't come from a direct edict coming down from the Biden campaign at the time or anything. But yeah, again, you got the media and the government working hand in hand to edit what people are allowed to see or what is allowed to be made up of as quote unquote trusted content.
Yeah.
But again,
Ministry of Truth.
Yeah. And while this obviously isn't a good sign or anything, and who knows what's going on that we don't know about, this story just brings up in my mind again, is Facebook actually a mind changer, or is it just a preaching to the choir platform? That's the part I'm not quite sure about.
It's a propaganda thing, isn't it? Because like you have people that spend, the majority of their day just surfing this shit. And it's not even necessarily articles that their friends share or anything that pop up on a timeline. It can just fucking ads, for instance. Ads are prevalent with absolutely everything. Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, they are there. That's how they make a lot of their fucking money. So if you are buying these ads, then even if you're sat there going back, no one is immune to propaganda. And it's not like there's just a thing like, there's a switch in your mind. You go, oh, do you know what? Yeah, fucking BLM or whatever. It's a gradual process of being exposed to this shit over a long period of time. And Facebook is the perfect fucking, the perfect way to do that. For the amount of people that spend so long on it.
Oh, yeah. They tailor your feed and stuff and everything that you see. To that type of stuff. Now, when it comes down to the question of how effective it is, it depends on who you're asking and what context, because there are a lot of things that are openly prevalent on Facebook that Facebook would swear up and down. It's like, it's not a big deal. There's no way you'll be influenced or changed by this. But, bring up some right-wing shit, and they're like, absolutely, it's fucking dangerous. It'll kill you, really.
Yeah, weird that. Weird that.
All right, well, let's move on to an old friend I haven't talked about on here in quite a while, but apparently he's come back in the news again, because why wouldn't he? It's Andrew Cuomo. Governor Andrew Cuomo expected to face questions from New York Attorney General not over killing people or trying to cover it up or intimidating other politicians to keep quiet about his cover-up. No, but the sexual harassment allegations.
Yeah.
Yeah. The probably the least important thing in regards to his current scandals, but
I ain't never seen the media protect the dude so much, man. It is ridiculous.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is expected to face questions on Saturday from members of the New York State Attorney General's office related to their investigation into sexual harassment allegations against him. A source familiar with the investigation told CNN. The interview with Cuomo signals that the investigation could be nearing its final stages, where they give him a pass, though no timeline has been established. That's my prediction. Following multiple sexual harassment allegations against the Democratic governor earlier this year, New York Attorney General Letitia James announced an investigation that would result in a public report. The two lawyers hired to lead the investigation for the Attorney General's office, June Kim and Ann L. Clark, are expected to interview Cuomo in Albany. Two people familiar with the matter told New York Times. A senior advisor to Cuomo, Richard Azzopardi. Oh, that guy must have gotten just absolutely raked over the coals at school.
Nah.
It's Dick.
An Azzo party's the best kind of party.
Well, but he's Dick Azzopardi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dick.
God, you're right.
Dick Azzopardi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No,
my God.
okay.
That's
I'm
a
not being
porn star name.
I'm not being facetious here. I feel sorry for that guy because immediately I'm like, my third grade brain just went, oh no.
His
Oh
name
no.
is Dick as a party.
Dick as party, yeah. Oh man, told CNN in a statement Thursday, quote, "We have said repeatedly that the governor doesn't want to comment on this review until he has cooperated, but the continued leaks are more evidence of the transparent political motivation of the Attorney General's review."
Man, fuck all that bullshit, dude.
What?
Like, how do you have a medium-sized pile of dead people next to him, and they're like, he said weird things to women.
The continued leaks are more evidence of the transparent political motivation of the Attorney General's review. Okay, so the Attorney General's only going after the governor for political reasons, not because several people made allegations against him.
That's the transparency right there.
Okay, right. And so they're not going, or at least, okay, let's put it this way. If there's an investigation going on into the nursing home scandal and the cover-up and everything else, I haven't heard hide nor hair of it in months. So if it's still continuing, and maybe this story will tell us, that really should be the top story and not this stuff, unless this is just the appetizer moving on to the next thing. The allegations against
hors d'oeuvre, if you will.
A hors d'oeuvres. The allegations against the governor include one that emerged in a February New York Times article. Charlotte Bennett, a 25-year-old former executive assistant and health policy advisor to Cuomo, told the newspaper that during one of several uncomfortable encounters, Cuomo asked her questions about her sex life during a conversation in his state capitol office and said he was open to relationships with women in their 20s.
Ah, good for him.
Just so you know, I'm open to relationships with women in their 20s. Oh.
I'll do you this favor.
Yeah.
Just putting it on the table. And then he actually put it on the table.
She interpreted the exchange, which she said took place in June of 2020 while the state was in the throes of fighting the pandemic. Yeah, and how did they do with that? As what the newspaper called, quote, clear overtures to a sexual relationship, unquote. Another former aide, Lindsay Boylan, accused Cuomo of sexual harassment, including an unwanted kiss. In a February Medium post, Boylan alleged that he kissed her on the lips following a one-on-one briefing in his New York City office in 2018. Escalating backlash against Cuomo prompted him to release the statement at the time that acknowledged some of his comments in the workplace, quote, may have been insensitive or too personal, unquote, and said he was, quote, truly sorry, unquote, to those who might have, quote, misinterpreted the remarks as an unwanted flirtation, unquote. Cuomo has denied ever touching anyone inappropriately. Beyond the investigation into the sexual harassment claims, James is also investigating nursing home deaths in New York and released a report in January that found that the state undercounted nursing home COVID-19 related deaths by about 50%. Okay.
I love how that's secondary. It's just like, yeah, they're also investigating this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
That would normally be the headline, that bit, right? You know,
a whole bunch of people died possibly needlessly because of Andrew Cuomo's need to make everything look good by moving the numbers around. And on top of that, he had his staff cover up the fact that they did that. And on top of that, he intimidated political party members to not tell the press about it. And they admitted to the cover up in an open meeting. The whole thing is sitting on a silver platter for, at the very least, impeachment, if not criminal charges, as far as I'm concerned. And yet here we are months later and just like, whatever.
Well, see, I'm positive that the reason that the media is avoiding this is because a huge part of that story is during the time all this stuff was happening, they were hailing him as the champion of fucking COVID. The media was. And they were doing it with there wasn't no help from him. It wasn't something that he asked for or told them to do. They voluntarily made him the face of the best way to handle COVID. And they would have to address that if they're going to bring up this story. So I feel like that's why they're avoiding it. They're like, no, we ain't talking about that shit at all.
Yeah. Let's see. What else?
They've got their reputation to worry about, haven't they, Satsu?
Yeah, which is fucking great right now.
Yeah, no kidding. On from politics to, I guess, legal-ish stuff. I don't know what you want to call it. Liberals struggle with Breyer's refusal to retire.
What is Philip Seymour Hoffman doing on the right there? I thought he died.
Oh, now Drunkle. That's not nice. That's not nice. Justice Stephen Breyer's latest signal in comments made exclusively to CNN that he is not yet ready to retire from the Supreme Court is angering progressive advocates and leading legal observers to wonder whether the left's pressure campaign on Breyer backfired. You want to pressure an old man in a position that is a lifetime appointment that's basically his life's work to just step down because you guys are scared of losing a seat for political purposes? Yeah, I don't know. I might say no too.
It worked on everyone else.
Yeah. For months, liberal groups have called on Breyer to step down while Democrats' control of the Senate would allow Democrats to confirm a replacement nominated by President Joe Biden. When the court's final day of the most recent term came and went without a retirement announcement, it seemed that those calls may have fallen on deaf ears. Well, he's an old man. Maybe he did. Maybe they did.
Yeah, maybe they actually did.
Speaking to CNN's Joan Biskupic in New Hampshire this week, Breyer confirmed that he had not yet decided when he would retire, prompting a new round of liberal anger that his refusal to leave could help Republicans nab yet another Supreme Court seat. Yes, because as we've seen, every time that a non-liberal ends up on the Supreme Court, immediately abortion is made illegal and all the guns are taken away. Or sorry, guns are.
You say that, but then that is always what's her name? Fucking Amy Coney Bennett. There you go. She gets onto the fucking Supreme Court, and that's exactly what people were saying. Oh, fucking. No one's going to be allowed to have an abortion, and we fucking love having abortions. LGBT right, they're going to end up getting fucking murdered in the streets and shit. And none of it fucking happened. None of it has never happened. I have exactly the same conversation with Sinatra. Every fucking Friday, he brings up an article about some Democrat saying, we're going to ban guns. And I say Sinatra, mate, it still hasn't fucking happened.
I remember when Bush was president, and I think it was both Alito and John Roberts, who were conservative justices or whatever. I remember the same. It's almost like a script. It's like putting this person on the bench will be a danger to women's rights and to LGBT rights, and will throw away years of gun safety, et cetera, et cetera. Think of your stereotypical right-wing legal concern, and they are going to make that a reality. And every single time, it hasn't happened, and it hasn't happened. Now, that's not to say that the next case that comes up that questions the legality of Roe versus Wade or whatever else won't turn the tide. It could happen. Hasn't yet, and a lot of times lately, people have been surprised for some reason by John Roberts taking a position that would classically be considered liberal in a lot of his decisions. Because people seem to forget that it's not always a safe bet, but a lot of the time when somebody ends up on the bench and they've got a lifetime appointment and they're not under pressure for politics, a lot of the time, over time, they move more towards the middle than they do stay on one wing or the other. So,
yeah, because they don't have to keep up those appearances anymore. Like
right.
Up until that point, they pick whatever their alignment is, but once you're in that seat, it's like I'm fucking here now. Like,
yeah. It's political soothsayers, honestly. Like for every fucking generation since the dawn of man, there's always been people going, "This is the end of the world," and do you know what? We're still fucking here.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Quote, especially after Justice Ruth Ginsburg lost her bet on her own longevity with the rest of us forced to pay, it's astonishing that Justice Stephen Breyer would court the same risk, unquote. Samuel Moyne, a law school student, Yale law school professor.
Samuel Moyne would like for you to specify that he is a Yale law school student, sir.
Okay, so a bunch of academics calling on Breyer to retire because it's like, dude, you could die tomorrow, and we need that chair. Like, if I were Breyer, I'd say, fuck you too.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? We lost. Ruth Ginsburg lost her bet on her own longevity. Lost her bet on her own longevity. Look, she should have retired while Obama was still president. But yeah, no, she bet but she was concerned about the politics. She wasn't concerned about the law or just the natural progression of thing, but she stayed on because she cared about the politics. And as far as I'm concerned, that wasn't a position that I would want a Supreme Court justice to make. At least, maybe just for the sake of my own sense of fantasy, that they don't make publicly. If they publicly state, I'm going to do this political thing and this is where I sit politically, et cetera, et cetera. Because it's like, I'd like to at least believe that to some extent, the people on the Supreme Court aren't all one thing or all the other, that they do take each case on their own merits, maybe. But anyway, yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg staying on past her health because she was so concerned about Trump picking a replacement. I was just like, you're doing it for the wrong reason, lady. You really are doing it for the wrong reason, if that's your concern. Thank you, Gamer Green. Real quick.
It was a bet as well.
It's true. It is. Except guns are most restricted in blue cities where crime is the highest in the nation. Baltimore is so restrictive, self-defense isn't default legal. Yeah, you notice that? Yeah, Chicago and every place else. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I saw that Lori Lightfoot comparison
Mm-hmm.
where she was like, "There's no way in hell I'm letting Trump bring his goons to terrorize my city," and then it's the picture of her begging Biden to bring people in.
We need federal assistance for what's going on over here. Yeah, we talked about that a while back, where it's just like, yeah, she was. Trump said, if you want assistance, you just have to ask for it. She's like, I'm not going to have those Gestapo tactics in here. And now it's like, please, Biden, send federal forces to help us out because we can't handle our own city's crime problem.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, it was the hatred of fucking President Trump more than anything, wasn't it? Even Pelosi was just like, no, I'm not going to get a vaccine if he's fucking behind it.
Oh right.
Yeah,
But that was one of the points.
My mind.
That was one of the points that I was making, though, is like that was more because her whole position is I'm black and lesbian and I stand in support of the people, my constituents or whatever. But she was just like, oh, if I have to pick between allowing Trump to support you and you dying, then I'm sorry. I hope you have a nice funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that's fucked.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else? Kind of at the bottom of the hour. Okay, we're going to move on to the wonderful world of MSS News, everyone. So if you have a news story you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News, and I might read it.
You might.
There was the one that fucking you replied to earlier on, the last tweet I sent about police in the West Midlands.
Oh, well, sure, I can do that as a... where'd it go? Where did it go?
It's on Twitter. Satsu, you have no idea how much this pissed me off, mate.
Okay, so let me... okay, well, it's just a tweet. There's not a story to it. Okay, so I can't show it on the screen right now, but I'll read it off to you. This is from the West Midlands Police. Hashtag arrested. We were alerted to a series of racist messages sent to a footballer today, and after looking into them and conducting checks, we have arrested a boy. The 12-year-old from Solihull has been taken to custody. Thanks to everyone who raised it, racism won't be tolerated. So yes, we'll arrest 12-year-olds for saying nasty words on the internet.
Not just that, but the actual West Midlands police force, not only will they arrest a boy for something he said on the internet, but they will brag about it afterwards.
We just arrested a child that said mean things. There's a whole bunch of playgrounds you guys should be at right now.
Oh, my God.
Like, really? Is that what we're doing? Because you need to be rounding up entire classes of little motherfuckers. Like,
I mean, West Midlands ain't... It's not the best. It's not the worst place to live. It's not the best either. I mean, there was in last month alone, there was over 100 incidents of knife crimes. But residents of the West Midlands, don't you feel safer now that this 12-year-old is off the streets?
Yeah.
Tell the motherfuckers to log into Call of Duty for 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
Gee, tell me about it. I mean, 12-year-olds.
So they can find out all about how that 12-year-old fucked their moms in various different ways. Like, are you serious? Come on, dude.
All right. Well, let's go on to some bad news first, because why not get some bad news out of the way? This one comes from Gamer Valine. And two, speaking of Baltimore, which you just mentioned in their super chat, thank you again. 2 Baltimore police officers shot while trying to apprehend murder suspect, say officials. The suspect was shot and has died, police said, because Baltimore. 2 Baltimore, Maryland police officers were shot Tuesday morning while trying to apprehend a murder suspect, according to authorities. The officers...
I used to love how the second line, the first line of the article is always now just repeating the headline.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you ever noticed that? It's terrible.
Oh, hell, there's whole sections they'll repeat when you go about 2 paragraphs down into the story. Especially on CNN and everything, we'll just say the same thing over again with a few words switched around because they have to fill out their copy or they're getting paid by the letter or something. I don't know.
We've all written essays at a 1,500 word count. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, gosh, it's almost like you don't need a master's in journalism to get a job here. The officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries from the shooting in the parking lot of a Security Square mall. That's ironic. Just after 8 a.m., Baltimore County Police said. The 32-year-old suspect who fired multiple rounds at the officers was also shot and has died. The 2 officers involved were assigned to the U.S. Marshals Capital Area Regional Fugitive Task Force. Try saying that 5 times fast. And we're looking for the suspect, Justin Powell, who was wanted for a June 19th murder, Baltimore said. Wait, on Juneteenth he killed somebody? Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
When officers approached Powell's car, he allegedly got out and started firing, police said. Multiple officers returned fire, hitting Powell. The injured officers are in stable condition, police said. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott described them as alert and upbeat. Well, thank goodness the officers are going to be okay, sounds like. I've seen some body cam footage that's been released in the last couple of days of some other shootings that are just like absolute horror stories. There was one I saw 2 weeks ago or something where they went up to some house for some regular... They had like somebody heard screaming from the house or knew of a domestic violence situation. So the cop walks up, knocks on the door, and it's from this body cam vantage point. And the door opens up, and with no preamble, the guy opens up the door, points a gun at the cop, and fires. And that cop ends up dying as a result of his injuries. And then from the vantage of another cop that was there, the guy who came out with the gun then started on the lawn of this house strangling like his girlfriend's son with his arm around his neck and lifting him off. I mean, it looked like it's one of those things where you see it and just like, this looks like something that has to be Hollywood because it's just so over the top and ridiculous and doesn't seem like real life, you know? And so short version is there's no such thing as a routine call when you're a cop. If anybody tells you otherwise, they don't know what they're talking about. Real quick, Cryptic, what did the computer say to the other after a 16-hour car ride? Damn, that's a hard drive.
Hey, Cryptic on form as always.
And thank you again, Gamer Valine. Security Square Mall is named due to its proximity to Social Security headquarters in Woodlawn, Maryland. The area is not one I would go to. Just the stereotype of Baltimore in general. If not from the show The Wire, then also from the show I'm watching now and reviewing Homicide: Life on the Street from the 90s. Yeah, Baltimore has
nice.
My sister got me the whole series for my birthday on DVD, and I've been progressively watching episode by episode and sort of reminding myself of all this stuff and sort of reveling in the nostalgia. Back when network TV was willing to take some risks with its content, slightly, but
yeah.
Oh well.
Do you know, I know exactly what you mean because I've recently started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that's basically the same show.
Yeah, you and Monkey should talk sometime, because Monkey loves Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Who doesn't?
My roommate made me watch the first season or 2 in college, and I didn't hate it, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's see. Oh, how about some more? Oh, I can't read this one because Washington Post will require me to pay them for something, so I'm going to stop doing that.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, here we go. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Boy, we're just full of good and happy news today, aren't we?
Excellent. I could do with cheering up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about this? BLM activist accused of molesting 62 kids returns to school board despite ongoing investigation.
Well, I mean, he's a Black Lives Matter activist.
Yeah, consider me cheered.
Black Lives Matter activist Tay Anderson is returning to work at the Denver School Board after stepping down a few months ago amid accusations he molested over 60 undocumented students.
Whoa! Wow!
If true, I can only imagine what he held over their heads in order to prevent them from saying anything.
A hammer.
As of today, the investigation into Anderson is still ongoing, but that's what compels Anderson to come back, as he believes the evaluation into his conduct has overexpanded in scope. According to ABC7 in Denver, the investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct against him have cost the Denver Public School Board of Education more than $50,000 so far. Tay Anderson thought they'd find, quote, credible evidence by now. It's also through the local ABC7 outlet that his announcement of returning to work was reported. In an email letter to the other school board members, quote, despite promises that this investigation would be completed within 30 days, then later, prior to the start of the 2021-22 school year, I have fully cooperated and participated in the independent investigation being conducted by ILG. I am now told that the investigation will not be completed for at least another 4 or 5 weeks, leading us to mid-August. The timeline of this external private investigation has changed multiple times, and the scope of its inquiry continues to change. Although I remain committed to engaging in a transparent and fair process, I can no longer wait for this process to conclude to initiate my return to serving the families of the Denver Public Schools. Is the school board's doing this? What are the cops involved? I mean, why is there an independent investigation? This sounds like
because kids were involved.
I get that part at least. I mean, the school should be involved, but I mean, I'm just wondering, like, are the thank you, Cryptic. A vet says we shouldn't reward people with trophies for participation because it's like a reward for losing. So I took his Vietnam veteran hat.
I got to admit, I read that a moment ago and he said vet, and I thought you meant like an animal doctor.
Wow, Cryptic. A reward for losing. In response to today's announcement from Anderson, the school board responded by saying it's not their place to shut down the investigation early before all evidence is examined. And there's an image I hadn't imagined I'd see. Dave Rubin calls out clown. Okay. Quote, one of the reasons that the board launched this investigation was because, consistent with our values, we believed a young black man deserved due process and a fair evaluation of anonymous allegations that were made on social media. We hired independent, neutral, and trained investigators to review these claims. Okay, well, innocent until proven guilty, and if the police aren't involved, or at least it's not mentioned so, that causes me to wonder if there's a whole lot to look at as far as evidence, but
can you go down to that last paragraph?
Yep.
Right. Second line there. We believed a young black man. Now, this is something I say a lot. Obviously, we've got a lot of crossover audience here. So people who have heard me say this before, bear with me. Why is black starting with an uppercase B?
That's become the new sort of standard in journalistic publications. Black is capitalized when you're referring to race, and I've seen it go both ways when it comes to white. I've seen it oftentimes lowercased, even if it's referring to race, sometimes capitalized, but not very often. So that's sort of like the new, that's the new publication standard I've seen on CNN and several other places. Yeah.
Well, I did manage to find an answer from the Associated Press. Okay,
it's a style guide. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's. I'm assuming other publications are following suit because of it, but their reason was right, and this is not, they go right, black, okay, because racial times, right, because otherwise we won't get clicks unless we start stirring up some racial hatred. Is basically what they said. But why don't we do it for white? They said because there are too many cultures. There are too many white cultures. So if they were to do a capital W, then it would be like, then we're talking about a certain one. Now, here's the thing. Satsu, you've heard this. White people don't have a culture.
Dude, you fucking snatched the thought right out of my head. Because I was just thinking, white people are universal. There is no cultures with white people. They're all one group, remember? We've been told that for a long time.
Right?
Wait, so capitalizing black means there is only one quote-unquote black culture?
That they're specifically talking about black Americans.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So it's not like African culture, for instance. No, it's African American culture.
Oh, okay.
And you go, all right, fair enough. So why aren't you doing it with, if you're on about a fucking a white 12-year-old boy, was arrested for saying racist shit. Also, did you notice with that one as well? They didn't actually say the race of the kid.
No, they didn't mention that in the tweet. No.
That to me says the kid is black. Like, if it's a white kid, they will say it's a white kid, and they will spell it with a lowercase w.
That is a fairly safe assumption, but we've assumed that and been wrong a few times.
Yeah.
So I tried to. I'm like, all right,
yeah.
We've assumed like they didn't name the race. Oh yeah, he's definitely black, and we look at me like sour cream.
Yeah. Don't you mean toilet seat complexion?
Toilet seat complexion. That's one of the upper ones.
Ghazi. That's Ghazi. That's old
porcelain American.
Porcelain American.
This one comes from Sean Uli. Biden denounces socialism during visit by Germany's Angela Merkel. Angela. President Biden denounced socialism during a Thursday press conference with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, taking a swipe at the ideology that an increasing number of fellow Democrats embrace. Quote, communism is a failed system, a universally failed system, and I don't see socialism as a very useful substitute, but that's another story, Biden said in the White House East Room. Well, even a broken Biden is right at least twice a day.
Well, this should be major, though, because this should be huge, actually. Especially considering even the media's kind of embrace of communism in general. Like they kind of what's the word I'm thinking of? They fantasize about it to a certain degree about how it can be a better system if implemented correctly, because nobody's done it right, and that's why it hasn't worked.
Oh yeah, of course. Real
quick, Gamer Verlaine, thank you so much. How dare you? Meine Leute sind sehr stolz auf das Oktoberfest.
Meine
Leute sind sehr stolz auf das Oktoberfest. Yeah.
My people are very proud of Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I did German in school.
Jawohl.
I went to school a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, I had 3 years of German in high school, and I retain Ich habe Kokain geschniffen.
I mean, you don't even need to know German.
Well, I know
what that means.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it was actually kind of funny because it was the day that, or one of the days that we were having to figure out verbs, because verbs come at the end of the sentence. So it's like if you had lemonade, you say Ich habe Limo getrinken, and it's always like g something in is how kind of it goes. And
well,
so
g is past tense, isn't it? Gespielt.
Yes, yeah. So it's a past tense. So I was with my partner in class, and of course we had our German names and everything. And we were the jokesters in the class, or at least a couple of them. And so we're looking through the dictionary, and we have like 10 minutes to come up with some example sentences of using past tense verbs. And so I say, what's the verb for snort? And we look in the dictionary, it's not there. Or like, how about sniff? And it's not there. This dictionary didn't have those words or something.
It didn't even have sniff? What?
No, yeah. So not knowing what else to do, I just made it up right then because I wanted to get it across. So I said, Ich habe Kokain geschniffen. And she's like, geschniffen? and so it sounded correct, but I didn't know. So for the longest time, for like years, I would make this joke and tell this story until one day I'm at a birthday party for like a friend of my sister or something, and a friend of the birthday girl, I think it was from Germany, was a native German. And I told her this story, and I said, geschniffen, and she's thinking, like, yeah, no, that's correct. And I was like, I made up a verb that was already in existence. Yay! I felt
straight onto Facebook trying to find your old teacher. Like, I fucking told you, bitch.
I know, right? Thank you again, Gamer Verlaine. It means my people take great pride in Oktoberfest.
Great pride. Okay,
very proud.
Great.
I got the gist.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not that great at it. Let's see. Miss Lim one corrects me. Scribe Light, it's getrunken. It's past tense. Oh, well.
Oh, trunken. That makes such sense.
She told me it was getrinken. Or maybe
drinking is to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, okay. I think are they on about the sniffing? Because trunk nose.
Oh, is that it?
I hope so, because that really makes sense in my mind.
I thought she was referring to when I said Limo getrinken, and that maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Is it drinking getrunken? Actually, I think it might be getrunken.
Actually, getrunken is what Quentin Tarantino does with people in his movies.
Oh!
Ask someone who lived under communism how great it is. I wonder if I knew someone who did in chat. Nah, nobody here. Yeah, anybody who lived under communism? Yeah, no, I've several people I've talked to that have lived under communism and like, no. And if you have any questions about that, just look what's going on in Cuba right now, which honestly, I'm kind of surprised it doesn't happen more often, but maybe we just don't hear about it that much.
Look what's going on in Cuba, but don't ask those questions.
Okay, Mike R says, drink is trinken. Okay, so just drink by itself. I drink limo or something or whatever is, or ikaba limo trinken. All right, maybe that's, okay. I'm I'm being retaught German in real time. Muslim one, it's to drink, Scribe Light, LOL, and it's a Usau, getruken?
Trunken?
To trucken.
Turducken?
Maducken.
Turducken?
Wadubba? Abadubba. Okay.
Wowie.
Wowie,
wow.
Wowie, wow.
Wowee. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Let's do another one here. Oh, well, it wouldn't be a night without frosted glass. Let's see. Which one do I want to do? Because we already talked about COVID-19. So how about, I'm sure this will be uplifting. It's about babies. We all like babies here, don't we?
I've already eaten.
Well, I'm not baby back. Thank you again, Cryptic. I loved starving. Great diet. Yeah. Communism. Yeah. If you want to know about living under actual communism, ask Cryptic.
Cryptic knows.
I'm sure. I think you mean Habe. Ich habe viele Deutsch gelernt. Again, Verlene. Es war sehr lustig und offensichtlich. Ich habe nicht vergessen. Ich konnte dich lernen. Wahrscheinlich.
Okay, that was. I have learned German.
Yes.
I was
happy.
Happy, good, and haven't forgotten. I don't know about offensichtlich. That's not a word I've seen before.
Yeah,
but the Chatty Logic is good at German, basically.
Yeah, I'm probably making all the actual German speakers in the chat like their ears start bleeding when I try to pronounce this stuff. But
no, you were pretty good for an American.
I can remember some of the rhythm of it, but not. And I always end up like adding emphasis, like I'm listening to somebody in a movie speak German or something. Got to make it sound rough and you know.
Oh yeah, fucking be diehard about it. Yeah, why not? Speaking German, you know.
Yeah, Hans Gruber. To end
enjoy yourself.
To end America's maternal mortality crisis, dismantle the racism that fuels it. Right, because last I heard, the medical industry is systemically racist and provides lesser care in general to anyone who isn't white, and specifically to women of color, and therefore, when they're pregnant, their babies die more often. That's what I.
But that's down to rate. So, like, what they're saying is, like, a doctor is getting into the job not just because they're going, I just fucking love medicine, really I want to save all the people. They're actually going in with the intention of racial genocide. That's
the extreme form of one of the prevalent conspiracy theories. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen this argument go from something as kind of low bar as this to straight up doctors are trained to kill black people.
Yeah. America has a maternal health crisis, and it is rooted in our nation's long history of racism that persists to this day. The U.S. is one of the most dangerous high-income countries in which to give birth. It is especially perilous for women of color. Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in pregnancy, at childbirth, and in the following year than capital W white women, and indigenous women 2 to 3 times more likely.
Get good, scrubs.
To achieve birth equity and justice, the idea that all who give birth should have healthy pregnancies, healthy babies, and the ability to thrive. Well, you can't guarantee that at all.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice if you could, but I mean, I can't count how many friends of mine. Like, I'm just thinking of the several couples that I've known in my life where their first attempt at having a child ended up in a miscarriage. Not because they were doing anything dangerous or they had some kind of weird lifestyle or something. It just happened. My mother had 3 miscarriages before I was born. And so I just keep telling her, it's like, yeah, well, you had to bake it to perfection first, and the other 3 just came out lousy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
It's like everyone fucks up the first pancake, don't they?
Yeah. Let's see. We must dismantle the structural racism and health inequities that fuel these disparities. This must be a starting point as we look to address a system that is failing women in every state every day. Okay, given the magnitude of the maternal health crisis, America needs to invest for the long haul and tackle our complex systemic issues. Okay, well, hold on. This comes down to people, because the medical industry is run by doctors and medical professionals. So it comes down to people. So
Subway.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. So what you are saying is that the majority of maternal, prenatal, postnatal care officials in this country are actively and consciously providing either zero or lesser care to people if they are not white.
Which is fascinating, considering that since they're talking about marginalized people, and I would guess that they're mostly gearing towards poorer marginalized people. 9 times out of 10, the doctors' offices and stuff in these neighborhoods, which is the doctors that these people go to, most of the doctors, nurses, and maternity people are black. So that's even more interesting.
At least non-white. I mean, you have fucking Asian, Indian doctors. Like, let's not act like that isn't a fucking prevalent thing. Do you know what I mean? But no. Apparently, they're trained for racial genocide as well. Unknowingly, spent too much time on Facebook, I guess.
Given the magnitude of the maternal health crisis, America needs to invest, whether the lack of or limited maternal care in about half of the nation's counties, according to the March of Dimes 2020 Maternity Care Report, limited access to prenatal care, unequal treatment and discrimination in healthcare settings, and racism's pervasive impact on the opportunities people have. However, by prioritizing critical federal and state policy changes and centering the voices and experiences of Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, we can save lives and end suffering now. Okay, on the practical level, mechanically, what is the proposal? And maybe we'll get that in a moment. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Sorry I hijacked chat. I'm Deutsche.
No, Im Deutsch.
Im Deutsch. It's okay. It's all right. It's fine. I mean, German is my second language. I mean, it's the only other language I had any long-term experience with. I know phrases from several different languages, but sure, it's fine. It's cool.
It's fine.
I mean, I wouldn't want you not to celebrate the one culture you have with everybody else who's white in the room. Or something. Jeanette E. Hellis, hi. I guess I will be single till something happens, and this also comes down to couples taking responsibility. Don't blame hospitals that apparently don't do their jobs. Okay, well, first off, I'm sorry that the twins and whatever else the guys you've been looking at didn't work out. That sucks.
Unlucky, Janet.
I mean, on the one side, it's like, in my book, I don't want to end up with somebody that doesn't already know how to take care of themselves.
Or speak German.
Well, that part's negotiable. But I figure in my life, the rule is be able to take care of yourself first before having to take on someone else and find someone of like mind. Like you want to be in a relationship, not need to be in a relationship. So if you're on your own 2 feet to begin with and you don't need somebody, that's a better place to be. Of course, as far as human contact and intimacy is concerned, everybody needs somebody, I think. Maybe. Sometimes.
In that song?
Probably.
Jim Carrey did it.
Sad song.
Don't you want somebody to love?
Don't you need somebody to love?
Wouldn't you like somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
And who sang that originally?
Oh, God. No, I don't know the original. There was the
Jefferson Airplane. And the singer specifically is
Jefferson Airplane?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Wasn't it Starship?
No, the original was. Jefferson Airplane became Jefferson Starship, and then became just Starship. So yeah, it was the same people. So you're not wrong in that sense. Grace Slick was part of all of that for the most part, but yeah. Gamer Valine again,
Right.
thanks so much. Sunburn celebration, or whatever the people of Utah celebrate to exclude the 5 people in that state that aren't white. Sunburn celebration.
God damn.
Okay, back to conspiracy theories. Okay, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the American Medical Association, and local and state leaders have called racism a public health threat. Well, if they call it that, then it must be so. It most certainly is. Oh, okay, well, that's all the proof I need. The impact of racism contributes to Black women's higher maternal mortality and premature birth rates. How? And I'm not being facetious when I ask. I've done a couple of TEDx's on this thing before, and was rarely ever described as to tell me the mechanisms by which this happens, because ultimately it has to come down to human hands making choices. The deep wounds of racism and the relentlessly cumulative effect of discrimination experienced by Black people also lead to poor health outcomes ranging from diabetes to hypertension and asthma. Wait a second. Wait a second. The healthcare industry is making people get diabetes and hypertension.
Look, you have to understand, from these people's perspective, those dumb, dark people, they don't possess the capabilities of doing and thinking on their own. Everything that happens to them happens because somebody is making it. That's why we can't do voter ID laws and stuff, because them motherfuckers can't figure out how to get an ID. They don't know how to do that shit. They're too stupid. So it has to be somebody else.
I mean, this isn't. I mean, it wasn't just, what was it? Diabetes. This isn't about doing and thinking. What they're saying is people of color. The bigotry is so low here with the expectations that they can't even breathe on their own. It's asthma as well. They actually can't breathe on their own, Satsu.
Yeah, they're being taught how not to breathe.
Almost, the white man has a literal knee on the back of their neck.
Oh, don't you do it.
No, what? No,
you
no,
fucking do it.
no, are we not? Okay, right.
Black women face daily stressors that damage their health. People.
No.
Sorry. Like casual racism and microaggressions at work, when shopping in businesses, and at the doctor's office. And there are many documented instances of Black women and their families not being taken seriously when they express medical and mental health concerns. Yeah, that only happens to one demographic, by the way. From celebrities like tennis players Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka, to the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, and Atlanta mom Kira Johnson, whose husband tried to advocate on her behalf during a complicated cesarean section, but lost her in childbirth anyway. And I'm sure that's only ever happened. Black people who give birth are too often faced with unfair treatment in the health systems meant to heal them. Okay, how so?
So you mean black women? They mean Black women, right?
Well, you would accept that this is another kind of style guide stuff where they keep trying to take away gendered language when talking about people who give birth. Now that transgender men can give birth, kind of, I guess that's my guess. I don't understand why they keep doing that otherwise. In a California study, more than 1 in 10 Black mothers said they were treated unfairly in the hospital when given birth because of the race. How? Okay. For example, they said they were not encouraged to make their own decisions or were pressured to induce.
That happens with if you pressure to induce. Yeah, because there are other women who are waiting to give birth. They want you to fucking squeeze it out and get the fuck out.
They also said medical providers argued with them about their treatment or that of their infants. Well, here's the thing. Unless I myself am a medical professional, if I go to the hospital, if I know my own body and medical history better than the doctor, and they say, I'm going to give you this thing, and I'm saying, no, I'm allergic to that thing. Okay, that's one thing. But elsewise, unless I'm a medical expert, I tend to defer to the doctors when they say, this is what we need to do for the health of you and or your baby. Now, is it possible that they might do something wrong or make a mistake, or maybe they don't have information that you also don't have and something goes awry? Sure, but that's got nothing to do with race. That's just got to do with the frailty of human nature. Yeah. Just 1% of white women raise these same issues. So does that mean that they don't happen, or that they don't complain as much, or how many people did you poll?
Thank you. Oh, that's what I was just about to ask. Yeah.
More than
the one white woman we asked said sometimes.
Listening to black mothers in California. Okay, do they have a breakdown of
It's because they called them between 9 and 5. The white women were busy, you know.
Where's the numbers? I'm sure I'm skipping over them. Nearly 9% of black women and 5% of women said they'd never had someone turn to for emotional support in the period between giving birth and completing the survey. Okay, where were the fathers of these children, I guess, or the husbands or whatever? 30%, a lot of percentages. You can give me the numbers, like how many people, methodology. Okay. Let's see. The survey was conducted from February 22nd through August 15th, 2017. Okay, so just half a year with 2,539 women, including 214 black women.
Say that again.
They surveyed 2,539 women, which included 214 black women.
Huh. They know what they're doing here. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So, and I'm being an English major, I don't know what percentage of the total number surveyed is constituted by black women, and then if 50 of them say one thing, that's a large percentage that they can put up on this deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have skewed survey methodology for a report that I'm totally surprised here. Here's my shocked face.
Yeah, CNN, right?
Yeah, I guess
CNN.
See you later. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the wonderful world of YouTube time. Thank you guys for all the stories. Sorry I didn't get to them all, but hey, we went in depth on a lot of them, which I think is valuable. So on the off chance that he's about to scoot, Drunkle, what have you been up to on the wonderful YouTubes lately?
Oh, God.
Aside from COVIDing yourself to death.
He's choking
Sorry.
to death.
No, it's okay, dude. You all right?
First tokes, yeah.
All right.
First toke always gets me. I had a video. I've been working a lot lately. So I've the first video of 2021 was about 2 weeks ago. How'd you like that?
Mm-hmm.
But I am working on one tomorrow. So hopefully it should be out just after the AAA. If that's what you meant. Or are you, is this the fuckery section?
No. This is what are you up to on the YouTubes and or anything else you'd like to plug?
Oh, no, yeah. I'm doing that. But also, if I'm not around on YouTube, most nights I am around on twitch.tv/DrunkenPlays, where I shout at cutscenes.
Yeah, and QuickTime events.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at video games, Scribe.
So what are you currently playing?
Oh, fuck, I've got 10 games in my Steam library that are under streaming now. Good God, so many. I've been doing a bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is an insanely difficult game, but also incredibly, incredibly accurate when it comes to that medieval period somewhere in Eastern Europe. Great fucking game. Bit of, started Batman, of course, Mass Effect Remastered came out, got that on the go. Just some general fuckery. If you're going to come by, don't come by because you're like, oh, brilliant video games, because I suck. Honestly, I am fucking terrible at them, but I have fun.
Golly, because there's been no established or popular genre of people watching other people play video games badly before.
No, I'm not even as bad as them, though. That's like I'm not the best at being bad.
Oh, you're no Dark Side Phil.
I'm mediocre, mate. I'm right in the fucking zero money making area. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Well, yeah, guys, go check out Drunkle, his YouTube channel. For those of you watching in the future, because I wasn't 100% sure he'd come on, I'll be sure to put his links in the description after this. And if anybody in the chat would be helpful enough to go grab those links and put them in the chat for people now so they can get them now and go subscribe, that'd also be helpful. Thank you. And when is the next AAA and on whose channel is it?
That is tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. GMT, 5:30 EST, 4:30 Central, and 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island on the Sinatra Says channel.
All righty. Satsu, what have you been up
to? Editing the third video in my Culinary Arts Appreciation Month series that I've been doing, and getting ready to finish that one up, which has been going well. I'm kind of prepping. I think after this assignment for my culinary school, I will be putting up another update stream where I'm just talking about how things have been going, how I've been doing. So far, I've gotten 100% on everything I've done. So
Nice.
I got a good streak going, and I'm trying to keep it that way. But they tacked on another class, and I'm working on that too. So kind of a busy boy, but otherwise, not a lot of gaming stuff going on because and then my cooking channel right after I finish up with these videos for Culinary Appreciation Month. I'll have a bunch of cooking videos lined up to be going up and stuff because I've been doing that under the radar.
You give us a little taster, for lack of a better word here. One of your what you've been cooking. Because every time we chat about your cooking channel, I always bring up your fucking buffalo chicken casserole.
Oh yeah, that's something I haven't made in a while. That's something I might not be able to make.
I actually fucking made it, and it was banging. Guys, check out his fucking channel. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, but I just had a physical recently, and my doctor was telling me like, yeah, you probably, should eat better. So I'm just like, so no buffalo chicken casserole.
Should you listen to him though? Because you are a black man in America, and apparently the doctors are just trying to genocide you. So
you know what? He could be. That's true. He could be telling me to get healthier because he wants me to die.
Yeah. Or maybe he told you you're in good shape when you're actually not. You've got diabetes.
Oh shit, diabetes.
Yeah, you got the diabetes. Okay, your feet are going to fall off and you're going to go blind.
Oh my god. Let me see. Well, mostly I've been doing the school stuff. They had me make a French onion soup recently, and I had to make the stock too. So I did that. The most recent video I did actually kind of spawned from something Scribe tried to get me to do. We were talking about tomato soup, and he was like, "You need to make your own homemade tomato soup."
Right.
So I did do that, but I ended up making a chicken parm grilled cheese with it, and oh my god!
Well, that is a major accident, isn't it? Like I meant to chop a tomato, but I ended up buying all of this grilled chicken instead. But,
well, because I was gonna make chicken parm, like the whole deal, but I'm like, I don't feel like doing all that shit. So I got the chicken done, and by the time I got the chicken done, I'm like, man, fuck this! I'm about to make just a grilled cheese. And then I made some tomato soup because I had some tomatoes laying around. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
That shit was good.
All right.
But that's what I've been up to.
What about you, Scribe?
Well, I did the wonderful world of TED Excellence today, wherein we discovered melodic racism, children's songs, and white supremacy.
Do you guys have Baba Black Sheep over there?
Yeah, we do.
You do? Okay.
And so my when I started the show, I was like, okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be, here's a famous children's song, and here's how it actually refers to terrible things in the racist past of America. And
that would be a very interesting TED Talk, actually, wouldn't it?
Yeah, sure.
I wasn't wrong, except for the fact that this lady's, I won't give it all away here, but she brought up two particular songs, and I had never heard of them before, and several people in the audience who were from the South, where the subject matter of these songs was most relevant, I suppose, had never heard of them before. But apparently this lady thought that as a music teacher, these were good songs at one time to teach kids the basics of music and bars and moving around while you're dancing, like kindergartner to elementary school kids. And one was called Pick a Bale of Cotton, I think it was. And the other one was called Jump Jim Joe. That's what it was called. And I'd never heard of either one of these things before. But the first one, I will give away this part. Her grand revelation in discovering that some of these children's songs were somehow inherently evil and imparting and or celebrating evil things with children was that after several years of being a music teacher and using this Pick a Bale of Cotton song as something to use to teach kids the basics of music, one day she suddenly realized, that might refer to slavery. And I was just like, come on.
It just hit her out of nowhere, like
exactly
15 years into her career.
Yeah, meteor from space to her head, like, duh! But even then, it's like, I kept thinking that I was honestly thought that she would bring up, just as an example of how this thing works, Ring Around the Rosie, which refers back to the Black Plague.
Why do you say Black Plague? Is bubonic plague or Black Death?
My apologies.
Yes.
That is
true.
Not out, Scribe.
All
You're
right,
a fucking
all right.
English major.
The Black
you prick.
I'm an English major. I'm not a history major.
Yeah, and the plague was English.
Anyway, well,
Plague was English.
The plague was sure, yeah. All the all the rats were Welsh. Whatever you want. Anyway,
They still are.
no, yeah. So I thought, okay, well, if "Ring Around the Rosie" refers to something terrible, and this song refers to something terrible, and it's terrible to have kids singing this song that abstractly refers to something terrible, then you're going to decry "Ring Around the Rosie," right? Because any song, any folk song, any children's song that relates back to something terrible must be terrible to sing or reference. Now, it's just these two songs she brought up, and they need to be taken away from the curriculum. I'm like, then do it. No, who is stopping you from doing this?
I mean, most of them refer to something quite horrific, like historically, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there are others that aren't. I mean, Three Blind Mice? This fucking crazy bitch. Where's Peter in this? Crazy bitch cut the tails off of 3 disabled mice.
Yeah, exactly. And most not fairy tales, nursery rhymes or children's limericks or things, oftentimes are lessons or warnings about behavior or tell a story of something from the past. Like old Grimm's fairy tales. Grimm's fairy tales were supposed to teach kids. They're meant to scare kids in order to teach them a lesson and to be wary of things or whatever. So, and so my question throughout the entire thing was like, okay, well, you taught these kids that terrible song for years before you realized it was quote unquote terrible. So what was the harm? And if you want to find out what the answer was she gave, you'll have to watch the TEDx talk.
Of course. I mean, the real answer is a lot of those kids who heard those nursery rhymes grew up to be doctors and ended up perpetuating the racial genocide.
Oh no!
Uncle,
It all comes full circle.
You cracked the code.
It all comes full circle. It's because of the song. You can hear them humming it in the fucking halls at night.
All right. Well,
no, Scribe, I know you said, I don't know if this breaches spoiler territory, but there was one thing in particular she said, because I watched the whole thing.
Go ahead.
Earlier.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, wow.
She said that annoyed the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying that that just because, we think that these songs are convenient and are useful for X, Y, and Z, that doesn't mean that people are going to just forget about what happened. And that statement really fucking annoyed me because I'm like, you are referring to the people you just had to explain to what it was. Mm-hmm. How are they going to forget what happened or remember what happened when they didn't even know what the fuck you were talking about? If you have to hold a class and tell everybody, hey, do you know what this song really means? And they're like, no, I don't. And you're like, well, this is what it means. Congratulations, you're a racist. I'm like,
yeah. That was the thing. It's like, I'm going to tell you exactly. It's like if little kindergartners are just singing a song about picking cotton with no context or reference, what is that doing to them that is so evil? If they're singing "Ring Around the Rosie," is that them celebrating the Black Death? Is that them promoting disease or something? Like, what? None of it made any sense. And well, I mean, that was her argument. Her argument was that by singing these songs and just recklessly singing these songs and having children sing them, they were promoting white supremacy. And so I'm like, okay, so "Ring Around the Rosie" promotes disease. It just doesn't.
But then she grew up. I mean, she knew these songs. She's taught these songs, and it's not like. I mean, when she realized that, a bit late in her life, honestly. But when she realized it, her reaction would have been, "Huh? Anyway." She's not like looking down at her hands and fucking quoting Macbeth, like fucking "Will all great Neptune's oceans wash his blood clean from my hands." No, she was like, all right. No, I mean, I'm not racist, and I learned that. Like,
the entire talk was. Well, I'm giving away the end, at least my ending now. Her entire talk was just to stand up on a stage and confess her sin and try to insulate herself from accusations of wrongdoing because of something that happened on Facebook, which she very specifically outlined, which I'm pretty sure is what inspired her to make this declaration and apologize for her evil doings before anybody else gets to her. So
see, I disagree. I think what inspired her was the fact that she went, "Oh, there's TED Talks in my area. What can I do one about?
All right.
What can I do?"
There's one thing. Okay, since he's still here, I'll try to squeeze this out. That didn't come out right. Neither did that.
Oh my god!
I gotta. Let's do a Mad Lib. Let's do a Mad Lib real quick. Quick Mad Lib.
Oh, can we?
Okay.
Yes.
So, chat. I'm only going to get a couple of requests from you, because this is a relatively. There's not many words in this one. So what I need from you, chat, is a number. That should be real tough. And a place, as generic as that. A number and a place. Put your suggestions into the chat. Be sure to tag them with number and or place so I know what to look for when I'm scanning through. And with that, let's see. Yeah, I'll go. Drunkle, I need things, plural. So basically just noun, plural.
Lemons.
Lemons, okay. Satsu, I need an adjective.
This is a tough one. You put on the spot and you're like, fuck, what's an adjective?
Well, I'm trying to stay on topic today, so we'll go with aborted.
Wow.
Drunkle.
Can I change my answer?
Well, I mean, maybe you want to switch your answer. I don't know, because the next one is food.
Right. Food. Teriyaki chicken.
Okay. Satsu, I need a color.
A color. Black with a capital B.
Stand on top.
No, capital B. I knew it. I was going to say something that's like, no, he's going to do it himself.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Drunkle, I need an adjective.
Wet.
Okay. Satsu, I need a phrase. Just any famous phrase, I guess, or anything you like.
It be like that.
It be like that. All right.
I mean, he's right. It do be like that.
Drunkle, once more, I need noun, plural. Plural noun.
A plural noun. Oh, shit. Towers.
Is that a 9/11 reference?
I'm working on it. We'll see how the lemons pan out.
And lastly, Satsu, I need a person. So, anybody. Who do you want to embarrass the most right now? I guess is the question.
Right.
So far, you've embarrassed yourself.
Let's do Lori Lightfoot.
Oh,
good. Very good.
All right. So, chat, I need a number. Let me scroll up here a little bit. Ebony Williams says number 47. Well, if you play Hitman, then you like that number quite a bit. And a place. That's also true. A place. Dom Alert condom recycling plant. I like that one.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. So let us.
No.
All right. So let me pull this up on.
Oh, Lori Lightfoot. What have you got yourself into?
Let me share the screen here so I can make it official. That one? Yeah. Okay. All right. You can kind of see it. I guess I can zoom in a little bit for the sake of.
Is that a pencil orgy going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. I just finished cooking school at Lori Lightfoot's School of Aborted Lemons.
Oh God. Oh God.
The last day of classes, I wowed my teacher with a black teriyaki chicken from Condom Recycling Plant.
Oh my God.
I prepared it traditionally, so it was baked with 47 towers.
Oh.
I think they mean instant. The instant my teacher tried it, he exclaimed, "It be like that." That's when I knew I would have a wet career ahead of me.
Slip and slide in your way to success. Good for you, man.
First sentence is one of the greatest things I think you would ever say.
I just finished cooking school at Lori Lightfoot School of Aborted Lemons. Yeah,
dude, it is amazing how well that works. Holy shit, dude.
Drunkle, are you taking off, or you want to do one more of those?
Oh my God! Can we do one more? Can we do one more?
We'll do one more.
I love Mad Libs. The only time I've ever done them was on your streams.
Okay, let me go.
This is like a dream come true.
Let Let me pick another random one here.
And England's going to win this one.
Oh, shh. All right. What subject shall we do that? Okay, just on the off chance. All right, so chat, this is what I need from you. Once again, I need a place, and I need, they give you some options here, because it's a phrase, lyrics, or a saying. So anything of a nature of a phrase that you particularly like. Real quick in the chat, because it's going to come up here in a second, right? Yes. Mike R, please post that in the comments. It's already gone. You're going to have to screenshot it.
Oh, you didn't archive that one?
No. Somebody's going to have to screenshot that from the broadcast and crop that and tweet it out or something. Sorry about that.
I was about to say that was definitely archivable.
No, that's one of those things where I like reflexively hit the X on the window without thinking first, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, chat. I need a place and then a phrase, lyrics, saying, some well-known one of those. And with that, Drunkle, I need a place.
Vietnam.
Oh, there's a callback. Satsu, I need a person.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my! Oh no!
Are
we going Predator? We're going Predator.
I hope I spelled that right. Drunkle, I need an adjective.
Slippery.
Okay. Slippery. Satsu, I need a thing, or they say thing. It should just be noun. So
whatever. You need a thing? Weren't you born with one?
Well, yeah, I'm cursed with a large one. Satsu.
Scribe's tiny penis.
Oh.
He did that to himself.
Oh, I can hear him typing as well.
Right.
Like,
hey, no,
he said it.
Drunkle, I need a celebrity.
Demi Lovato.
Oh, no. I mean, I guess.
It's now. Is it Lovato or is it Lovato? I forget. LO or LA?
That's a good
I'm guessing
question.
by our habits, LA.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll leave it there until the chat corrects me. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Viscous.
Oh, fuck yeah. Why did you say it like that?
Because, I mean, how else can you say such a disgusting word?
Normally. That's how you normally. The normal accent.
Drunkle, I need a plural noun.
Swabs.
Swabs. All right. And lastly, Satsu, at luck of the draw, I need a color.
White with a capital W.
White with a capital W. All right.
Lowercase.
So now I need a place. Scrolling up in chat. Let's see. Random American, forgotten section of an IKEA store. It's complex enough that I like it.
That's an SCP, I think. It is LO for Lovato. Lovato.
Aha, okay. Gotcha. I thought it might be, but I wasn't sure. All right, Lovato. And lastly, a phrase, lyric, or saying. Okay. Let's see, who's got a good one here? Okay, that'll work. No one, nowhere. London Bridge is falling down.
Nice. Another nursery rhyme that was based on horrific circumstances.
I know, right? Can't sing that one or else you're celebrating the destruction of London Bridge.
And I do.
Okay, then with that segue, let's move on. And I will share this one before I read it, because that's always the fun part. Share that and zoom in a little bit. All right. Today I rode bus. Okay.
Bus.
Yeah, bus. Today I rode the bus from forgotten section of an IKEA store to Vietnam.
That took forever. And it wasn't the Vietnam part that took the longest.
It's because they had to build the bus first. It was from IKEA, for fuck's sake.
I left early because I wasn't sure where the bus stop was, but I saw a bright white sign right by the Scribe's tiny penis, so it was easy to find.
How was that? Oh, I guess the sign does most of the work for you, doesn't it? Really?
The bus driver's name was Arnold Schwarzenegger the Viscous.
Oh my god!
The only other passenger was a girl a year older, but all the seats were filled with slippery swabs.
No!
Oh no!
When the bus started moving, the girl turned to me and said, "Want to hear the best advice I ever heard from Demi Lovato? London Bridge is falling down." I'll keep that in mind.
Oh my god!
Don't just sit on that.
And
bus.
Demi Lovato was high as fuck at the time.
Yeah, on slippery swabs.
Oh no!
So I am. Let's see. I've captured that, cropped it. All right, I will deal with that
The
later.
sad
Oh,
thing is that bus from the forgotten section of IKEA wasn't actually going to Vietnam, but was actually going to Laurie Lightfoot's cooking school for aborted lemons.
yeah.
That's the really sad thing.
Aborted lemons.
That's going to become like. Hopefully, that'll become a running gag.
Oh man, we need to keep that a part of of our lore.
All right.
It's canon.
Well, it's question time. Drunkle, are you going to bow out?
Is that your question?
Yes, that's my question to you.
No. I'll stick around. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've got another,
Well, everyone-
another beer and a half. I can hang in.
All right.
Unfortunately, you entertained him, so now
Yeah.
he's awake.
Yeah, it's your fault, Scribe.
Everyone, it's question time. So if you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you might be Welsh. Let's see.
Idiots.
So I'm told by the Welsh mostly.
Yeah. Well, they're smart in that respect, but that's it. It ends there. They're self-aware.
Let's see. Brigid. When I was learning Japanese, I accidentally said Ryushin o Tambamashita. Tambamashita, as opposed to Ryushin de Tabimashita. The difference being eating your parents and eating with your parents is slim.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Which one did you mean to say?
That's the other question. Pyrus Creed, what caused London Bridge to fall down? Well, the weakness of the monarchy's bloodline, I think.
It's a big old fire.
Yeah. I like
on the plus side, though, ended the Black Plague. 1666, I believe.
Scanner Deathly, Drunken Uncle, why is pineapple the best topping for pizza?
Not a pizza aficionado, as I don't like cheese, but I'd probably say it's because the citric acid helps break down the food as you eat it. Most cool thing about pineapples is that acid breaks down meat enzymes. So when you eat pineapple, that tingling sensation you get in your lips is pineapple eating you right back, motherfucker.
That is some shit to say. Also, some people use pineapple as tenderizer, so that actually lines up. So.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, that's why you can get it. I don't know. Do you guys have gammon steak? It's just like a steak, but from a pig. Very often gets served with a pineapple on the top because it does tenderize it. It can work.
Travis Gardner asks, Drunken Uncle, what is your favorite book?
That's The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde.
There you go. I've seen him represented twice now in film and or TV. Once in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was and then in Penny Dreadful, which was first season was better, but I don't think he showed up until like the second or third season and everything after that. The first season's great. The first season's like wow, and then after that, everything kind of takes a turn. It's like they had some really great ideas for that first season, and then everybody was like saying, "Hey, you're going to do a second one, right?" Like,
what? I guess.
Cannibalistic Wizard, bacon wrapped wagyu. I think you mean wagyu steak fingers simmered. Are all those meant to be there in gravy and served on 2 times baked garlic potatoes, microwaved water tea, and a slice of caramel glazed peanut butter cheesecake? Wowzers!
See, the amount of "yous" in that statement led me to believe he was English until he said microwaved water tea, and now I know he's not.
I think he said that specifically because you were here. Unfortunately, I have not had the pleasure to have Wagyu steak.
I have.
From Japan or Australia, because apparently those are the two best places you can get it.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I need to.
Uber Eats is amazing.
I went to a fancy steak place 2 or 3 years ago. I wasn't paying, thankfully, and they had Japanese Wagyu steak on the menu. And I remember from a friend of mine who was an anime freak talking about that for some reason. I was like, I'll try that, and from what I recall, it's pretty good. I don't know what else to say. It's like I'm not much of a steak connoisseur, but I didn't hate it for sure. So it was great. As for this arrangement, not sure what water tea is, but the rest of it sounds fine to me. I mean, bacon steak with gravy and then cheesecake at the end sounds fine.
It's those twice baked garlic potatoes that are kind of making my my food hole water right now. Drunkle loves garlic.
Oh yeah, twice baked potatoes are the shit too.
Yeah, Drunkle's no vampire. Thank you, Okie Native. Bromelain, not citric acid, breaks down the meat.
Okay, yeah.
Get it right, Drunkle.
Yeah. Oh, look, the thing is, you're doing a stream, you can't remember a word, so you use a different word. Bromelain sounds like a fucking WWE wrestler.
Pyrus Creed.
I'm gonna beat your meat.
For those of you that have it, there is a clip button down at the bottom of the screen now.
There is.
There you go. You got your sound bite for the evening.
Pyrus Creed soundboards, right?
Yeah, Pyrus Creed. If it's racist for Black people to need an ID to vote, is it also racist for them to have an ID or background check to buy a gun? Probably.
Well, I mean, the whole concept of IDing is based on the registry for your slaves. So, yes, of course it's racist.
Satsu.
Yeah, I could write for CNN.
Oh, you expected me to comment on that?
I don't know. I mean,
everyone look at the black guy.
There are 3 of us here. I figured it was your turn.
Nah, bruh. I'm good on that one.
Gamer Valine says, Scribe, I saved that Penny Dreadful thumbnail to show the boyfriend. Oh, you like that one? Yeah, I put that together. It's a little obscure because usually I have to try to find something where if you took our avatars out of it, you'd still be able to or with our avatars on, you recognize what it's from. So there's got to be something relatively iconic in there. And there wasn't a whole lot because it's just a bunch of people in Victorian garb and sort of a desaturated sort of lighting and everything, but with the title, I did my best. Let's see. Arthur, Brain Cell, Drunken Uncle, my 3 kids got their Marcus Rashford free school meal boxes, but they were all empty because he missed the boxes.
There it is. I fucking knew that was fucking coming. You beautiful bastard. That was very good.
I'm sure that's a British inside joke that I don't get.
Marcus Rashford was one of the 3 black guys. It was all black guys who missed the penalties for the final of the Euro tournament. No. That's the fact, which is why there's been like so much talk about fucking racial abuse, because a lot of people were very, very bad people and sent them some very, very bad words on the likes of Instagram and everything.
I never saw the details of that. So was it literally the case that all of the missed kicks or whatever were from black players?
It literally was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't know. I had no idea what the basis of that was. I thought it was just people like sour grapes we lost and they were just being a bunch of assholes and racists. But I mean, they're being racist anyway, but yeah, okay.
I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, there's no excuse for it anyway, like if they fucking scored or not. No, it was Sake, Rashford, and I want to say, is it Sterling? I don't think it was Sterling, but it was 3. Immediately, as soon as it happened, the unity from England disappeared, and it was just N-words of fucking go-go. Absolutely horrible behavior.
Yeah, I didn't know what the basis of the story was. So.
But Rashford, the player in question, also did a lot of charity work, providing a lot of free school meals for underprivileged children.
Okay,
hence the joke.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for explaining that to me, because now I'm just the dumb yank.
You got it, man. We're bridging the cultural gap. We got it.
Right. Even though we all have one culture. No, we don't have one culture. We do have one.
No, we don't. We have too many. We have too many.
That's right, too many. Adonis Bartolote are aborted lemons that are thrown in the trash called trash limes.
No, they're called trash lemons. Stupid.
Yeah, why would they be? That's a
Trash limes. I mean, unless they've rotted to the point of being green, I guess. I don't know. Well, I mean, if they're aborted, they haven't actually ripened yet, so maybe they are still green.
There's still a different. Oh, I guess you're right.
Oh, you know what? No.
Aborted or premature?
Okie Native, Red Dwarf would be a good thumbnail. You think?
Know Red Dwarf?
Of course. Every time there was a marathon, because back in the olden days, they'd have like marathons of Red Dwarf on public television when they're doing their fundraising, and every year it would come on. I would, I just sit there and watch the whole thing because I was such a fan, and
love it. Good stuff. I mean, I grew up watching this shit. Gunman of the Apocalypse, best fucking episode ever. Second is the Backwards Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That shit cracked me up. Unrumble, fucking brilliant.
Hey, Satsu, can you handle a couple of questions for a second? I got to handle something here real quick offline.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right, let's
handle
see
Scribe's Tidy Peters.
Chill.
He gotta go get the tweezers. I'll be back.
Oh, wait, where's my microphone?
Sitting right here.
Hi, Scribe. Let's see. What haven't I gotten? Drunken Uncle, if you had a chance, would you move to the U.S.?
No, my family lives here.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
I like enough of my family to stay here, but
yeah, I like enough of your family, but it's the other half that are keeping me away from the US,
Yeah, it can get bad. Drunken Uncle, what is your favorite episode of Bob's Burgers?
Oh God, tough one. I'm really into that show. Shit.
Okay.
I want to say, is it season 9 or 10? Bob gets glued to the restaurant toilet just as a magazine is going to come over to review. Only because of the song in that is absolutely banging. Because today is gonna be a good day. Fucking love it.
Real quick. So Okie Native, just so you know, it's been done.
Oh, look at that.
Yep, I did that a while back. Now,
you straightened up Monkey to look more like Crichton as well.
I know.
Great.
Yeah, I straightened him off. Yeah, the real trick was coming up with that loop behind the text. The version of Adobe Photoshop I have is old, and it was actually kind of a trick to do and to make it kind of line up with the letters and look like the real thing. So, yeah, I'm actually kind of proud of that one. I thought that turned out pretty good.
You are such an Arnold Rimmer as well. That is like the best casting I've seen since fucking Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. That's great.
I'll leave that up for a bit just to show off. Random American, speaking of citrus fruit, if you write your phone number on them and hand them out to women, would that be a good pickup line?
Oh, fuck you.
That was a stealth groan right there.
Fuck you.
Let's see. Scribe Light Drunkle. They found out of about 500,000 tweets / Instagram posts. There were 147 racist posts, and 5 were from within the UK, and they've all got 5, and they've got all 5 of the British posters.
Yeah, no doubt. There has been a massive influx after fucking England v Denmark, the semi-finals of like, and there's no other word for it, anti-British shit online, because everyone's getting lumped in with these fans. And as that one said, it was actually 5 fucking people.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's like, hey, unironic xenophobia for being xenophobic.
Thank you again, Okie Native. I meant Drunkle already looks like an alien, but I'm
an illegal alien.
Oh, are you?
I never done the 23andMe thing. I don't know.
Ebony Williams, when will CNN ask Lori Lightfoot about her school of aborted lemons? Well, you should tweet them and ask. I mean, now that this story's out on the internet, there's some legitimacy to it. So I think it's up there for CNN to start investigating, whatever that means to them anymore.
I'm gonna blow the lid off this thing.
I mean, just something being posted on the internet is usually the top threshold of what CNN does in their investigative work. So hey,
It's enough to get a 12-year-old arrested. Fuck it.
Oh, Jesus. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? You guys talked about that. Okay. Well, I'm waiting for some more questions. While I'm waiting for some more questions, let's see. I'll show off some more. Let's see. What thumbnail shall I show off next that Drunkle might appreciate?
All of them, because you very often, at least the ones I'm in, you DM them to me, and they are good.
Let's see. How about? It's so.
Have you got a favorite thumbnail, Satsu?
Man, he's made so fucking many, dude.
Right. I some obscure shit as well. Like, I mean, look at it. Fucking. That's fucking. It's not Lock, Stock. It's Snatch.
Yep.
It's the other guy, Richie one. And I'm not even in it again.
Let's see, where is?
He's
this
playing
one.
Sinatra, an American, right?
Yeah,
American.
This one I kind of like. I forget who it was. I think it was somebody. One of the viewers suggested this photo to me. It was a very famous photo, and I worked on this quite a bit. I thought it turned out pretty good, and I was able to get plenty of people on it. I thought that turned out all right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Why am I feeding someone food though?
Well,
you make me like.
No, you're giving Undoomed a cigarette.
It better be a cigarette.
It's a cigarette.
Well, we have a different word for that.
Yes, I know, and I can't say that here.
I've trained myself to call them cigarettes, man. I had to.
Bridges, Scribe, you should do a Power Rangers or Super Sentai if you watch the OG footage. Thumbnail, it's iconic enough. And the cops are coming for me.
Oh, Popo.
I'd considered doing a Power Rangers one, but at least at the time that I was looking around for it, I couldn't find a wallpaper and or picture that was clear enough or didn't already have a whole bunch of text and graphics on it that I wouldn't be able to work around. So I'll keep that one in mind, but I had looked at that before. Let's see. Gamer Valine, Drunken Uncle, brace yourself for tomorrow. I sent Sanut some articles and I'll be awake.
I won't.
Thank you, Keldrig. Here's compensation for dealing with Drunkle.
Oh,
now,
that's nice.
There's no dealing to be had with Drunkle. At least when he's not.
But there is getting paid.
Yeah, as long as he's not accompanied by Sinatra and Polly, I can actually get a word in edgewise.
What's wrong with Polly?
I mean, he's taken to the whole everybody talking over each other and shouting over the. He's become one of the
trained him. Yeah,
exactly.
First of all, he didn't say anything was wrong with Polly. He said something was wrong with Polly and Drunkle.
It's a combination. It's like okay. It's sort of like you take what was I thinking of? The things that explode when you put them together.
2 sticks of dynamite and fire.
My mind is suddenly blanking.
Combustible materials.
Women.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin. That's
in the area. Okay, I've never dated anyone called Glycerin. I don't know about you.
Well, there was that whole Bush album. Oh no, that wasn't
bad.
That was a song title, actually, wasn't it? Glycerin.
No,
Glycerin. Yeah.
That was still good.
All right. Anyway, what the hell do I know? Not much, apparently. Or my brain's
English.
going at this time of night. Yeah. Hell, I don't even know that very well.
No, well, you did pretty good at German.
Jawohl. Let's see. What was
you called him?
Oh, there is one here that thumbnail that I really like. Where is it? It's what did I always
answer the man. Where is it? Tell him. Help him out.
I always name these things such esoteric things when I put them on here, and then I can't find them again when I want to.
Well, I mean, you could just change it to view large thumbnail, and then you wouldn't have to look at the name.
No, I've got the thumbnails up. It's just that I've got so many of them now. I mean, you think about doing 2 a week for a year or whatever, or months and months and months. It's
I do 3 a week, but yeah, okay.
Oh well, I guess you're just better than me. Oh, there it is. Well, I usually get really clever with them, like if it's I don't know, like if it's James Bond, I'll say like James Lords or something, and then I'll just be very
Yeah, you're right. That's really clever. Yeah.
Really clever. Yeah, exactly. But then I try to find them again in a reference. Okay, that one. That one I thought turned out pretty good for Boardwalk Empire. I thought I got
Lord Walk as well. That's wonderful.
Especially the angle of Satsu's look and getting squishy in there and everything. I thought that turned out all right.
Satsu looking more like Cat Williams than Cat Williams.
That's right. I'm looking at Scribe like, run up on my bitch if you want to.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the original, Satsu would be the head gangster in the show, and the character that my face is over is, at least for a time, one of the main treasury agents going after his business. So that makes
Who's
sense.
that guy right at the back, in between Monkey and that hoe?
Well, the character I don't recall, but that's the P-Dog Knight back there.
Oh, okay, that's P-Dog.
Oh, right. No, the character is Chalky White. I just remember the character's name is Chalky White.
I remember Chalky. Chalky White was the best character in that fucking show.
Yeah, so he was Chalky White, and Monkey is playing the guy's brother. Yeah, so anyway.
Even in the fucking thumbnail for the show Boardwalk Empire, the black guy has to sit at the back. How does that make you feel, man?
I thought that was kind of that's a bit anyway, whatever.
Dude, my hood actually looks like a pimp Jerry curl.
You look great, mate.
Bitch, I hope you got the monies to pay for this little vacation you've been. Oh, Cat Williams.
Let's see.
It's called Cryptic Chronicata Light.
All right, I'll put up one more because I'm getting too egotistical about these things. But this one I thought turned out for what it is pretty good.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that was me discovering the magic of transparency. The transparency slider bar when it comes to certain things in Photoshop. It's like, oh yeah, I can make it look like Lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other thing too was I took the real trick was that thing originally had the Lost text behind the characters, and so I had to figure out a way to remove that text, put in my text, and still retain all the clouds. And that was a chore. That was a bit of a chore.
Oh, yeah, there's a beautiful use of layers, and then on top of that as well, you've still got to get the text behind the characters again after that. Yeah,
I had to do like 2 or 3 different layers on that to make sure that they were distinctly in front of the text while getting rid of the old text and making it look like it wasn't there to begin with. Yeah, so
that's good, man.
Some of these things take a lot longer and a lot more. And the thing I'm always really proud of, just I'll brag for a second, is that almost never do I look up some kind of tutorial. Because first off, I have such an old copy of Photoshop that anytime I look up instructions for Photoshop, they're referencing something that I can't even do.
That makes sense because you couldn't do the spiral behind the Red Dwarf logo. I've got Photoshop 7. It doesn't do circles.
Yeah, that's the thing. It can't make just a circle with an empty space in it. It just makes a circle that fills itself in, and so that stuff's always tough.
Yeah,
but, some of the stuff I have to sort of self-teach, and then it's like, okay, now I've gotten. I think I've gotten okay at some of this.
To be honest, I think that's how you learn the best. I mean, you could sit there and do a tutorial and shit like that. But I mean, what I really used to do was just finding images on Google of like a farmhouse, a crow, a fence, and shit like that. And I sat there and I put all these things together, and I made that farmhouse look scary. You know, I changed the tone. The color of the picture, put some of the fence posts leaning slightly to the left or the right, put a crow on it, add put a load of clouds in the sky and shit like that, and just kind of made my own picture out of several different pictures. And I think that actually taught me a lot as well, because you're sitting there and you're learning about the tools and how to use them rather than being told this is what you should do. You're going, but what can I do?
Let's see. Actually, I've just been. Where is it? Oh no. There it is. Okay, hold on.
Next to your tiny penis.
Yeah. Now, Gamer Valine says in the chat, "You made Drunkle a Sith, Scribe Light." I did.
I think society made me a Sith.
Yeah.
The moment I heard "Ring Around the Rosie,"
Yep,
I was
that
gone
one.
for life.
Let's see. I made Drunkle. I made Drunkle Darth Malgus in the Old Republic. Well, because I'm showing off all my thumbnails, all the questions have dried up.
Was that Knights of the Old Republic? The game?
Well, no. So this is the MMO, which is just called the Old Republic.
Ah,
And,
okay.
I used I used part of the logo from Knights of the Old Republic for the in the title there. But
Dude, that was such a top game.
Yeah, no, the KOTOR 1 and even 2, if you get the mod that puts in all the lost content and everything, yeah, those games really do still stand up.
Definitely.
But yeah, we got about 5 minutes left. Drunkle, anything you want to? If the cops will just leave me alone. What is going on today?
I think they're coming for me, mate. They've realised I'm a doctor.
And now that sounds like a fire truck. So okay.
Okay, I'm a hot doctor.
Hot doctor. Game of Verlaine says, I remember giggling at Drunkle being a Sith. Well, I mean, he was the only. His is the only sort of like bald avatar I have in my repertoire, and the character in the game has that same kind of.
It's fair. It's fair. I'm not mad. I'm kind of mad that respirator thing doesn't actually go over my nostrils. It's useless.
Yeah, I tried to make it work as best as I could with the dimensions of your avatar and everything, but it was just like the more I squish and stretch it stops looking like you. And anyway, so
it's a design flaw in the helm itself. It's not your fault. It's just they weren't expecting anyone like me to come along. Sith generally long straight noses.
Or they don't have them at all because they got cut off in a lightsaber fight or something.
Well, I mean, that's Voldemort. We're crossing the universes here. But, I mean, fuck it. Let's talk about this. Who would win, Harry Potter or Darth Vader?
Well, Darth Vader in his prime?
Well, his prime would surely be Anakin.
Yeah, well, I mean, after he first became Darth Vader, yeah. Darth Vader in his prime would wipe the floor with Harry Potter. Harry Potter, for as powerful as he is, his inherent morality would cause him to hold back, and Vader wouldn't.
That is a very good answer. If it was a death match, Harry would probably lose.
Yeah, his inherent goodness would be actually be a problem. Yeah. The dark side would probably be a pretty. It wouldn't be a matter of like lightsabers or something. It'd just be like, Anakin.
It'd be a false battle, effectively, wouldn't it?
I mean, Anakin slaughtered children. So if that's if that's basically his threshold right there, Harry Potter's got no chance.
Harry's not his first.
It wouldn't be.
There's no should I, shouldn't I with that. It's like I'm gonna do it again.
Spudgun asks, Drunkle, where's your accent from? Well, presumably his mouth.
Hey,
because it don't sound Welsh, sounds very slightly West Country.
Ooh, no, I'm not actually Welsh, Spudgun. That's just people say to me because it started as a joke, Satsu. Now I'm very fucking offended because we loathe the Welsh. No, I'm from Derby. If you know it, Spudgun. Obviously, it's not unseen that Brits would be on YouTube at this hour.
Well, not usually, but so anyway, we got a couple minutes before the top of the hour.
Here I am.
Drunkle, do you have anything you'd like to pitch, plug, or otherwise advertise while you're here?
Well, there is, as I said before, there is, if I'm not on Twitter, if I'm not on YouTube, then I'm at the pub. But if I'm not at the pub, then I'm definitely at twitch.tv/drunkleplays, where I'm terrible at video games and I shout at every character as if they're to blame for me being shit at them. And I do have a video coming out on my channel tomorrow, fingers crossed.
And if you don't already have the link to Drunkle's Twitch channel, it's in the chat now. And for those of you listening in the future, it'll be in the description below presently. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Harry Potter was that kid that survived and got to the end through sheer luck. He happened to befriend a brainiac that kept him alive. I don't know Potter lore enough to say one way or the other, but just what little I know between those two characters, it wouldn't be a very long fight.
The thing was, what there was, it was revealed like towards the end of the books that that there was a prophecy that he was the one that was chosen to defeat Voldemort, but it was either him or it was Neville Longbottom. But the fact is, there was a prophecy which then kind of suggests that fate is in play here. So it wasn't actually luck, Gamer Levine. It was that everything was pre-written.
Wow, sort of like Anakin was supposedly the virgins of the Force and the prophecy and all that.
Yeah, exactly. The moment you bring fate into anything, it's like, oh, right, so the character's ambitions and choices don't actually matter here because it was going to happen anyway.
Pretty much, depending. Well,
it takes it away from me, man. I don't like things after things like that,
Well, also depends on the interpretation of the prophecy because, I mean, Anakin did bring balance to the Force because he eventually killed off all the Jedi and then killed the Emperor. So he, from a certain point of view. Okay, Native, thanks so much for the Welsh joke.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The Welsh joke is because he woke up with the sheep. Oh.
She was more of a cow, to be honest, Okay, Native.
Well,
that's enough about my ex.
With that, to end off, Satsu, where can people find you next?
On my channel tomorrow, same time.
All right. Yeah, guys, tomorrow night on Satsu's channel for the next episode of Lords of the Night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. As for myself, that's where you'll find me tomorrow as well. As for my Sunday stream, I have not a clue what I'm going to do, so wait on that if you're curious. And but first and foremost, Drunkle, thank you so much for taking the time out of your already long day to stay up until the crack of dawn with our sorry asses.
Nah, man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I was sat here. I was really flagging my eyes. I was just watching fucking something on the other monitor while I was scrolling through Twitter. You popped up saying, hey, if you want to or if you can, come on. And I was like, no, I'm not going because my eyes are heavy. I'm falling asleep watching this, But I put right up now, mate. So thank you very much for that.
Really do appreciate it. Satsu, as always, thank you for joining me. Everyone, you guys are the greatest audience in the world. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, or I will fight them with polite words.
He will. I've seen him do it. He will.
Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everybody here is so well behaved. You have very little to do. And everybody who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. With that, Satsu, Drunkle, thank you for joining me.
That's all right.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And taking out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, The Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism.
Oh,
and
the lesser-known Harry Potter novel.
Yes. Yeah, Harry Potter and the Whip of Leather. And today's secret word is mattress.
Oh.
Secret mattress.
What do we think about a mattress?
Wow-wee! Wow!